nights at the racetrack. The opportunity for fun goes wide open. 45 years ago, your first career start, DW.
What'd you choose Talladega for that?
Well, we had to fix it. We had to build the car. It was a 69 when I bought it. We turned it into a 71. And the day we got it done, I said, okay, where are they racing? They said, they're racing at Talladega. I said, let's go. We'll go to Talladega.
We got to get that headshot cropped out and do a side-by-side. Your hair still looks pretty good. I mean, it was nice then, but man, you have aged well, Daryl.
Just for being those miracles.
Do you know where you finished that day?
No, but I made $680. I remember that.
And you were happy about that, right?
Well, that was a lot of money at the time, believe it or not.
38 engine failure, 69 laps in.
I could have won it. I could have won it. Me and James Hill.
Every driver says that about every race.
I really think you could have won every race you were in.
Well, almost. But me and James Hill were having a heck of a race, and my engine blew up, and Hilton won.
All right. 45 years ago. Let's go to the garage, Matt.
It might have been a bad day that day, but if you back it up to 1967, that chassis won the Daytona 500 with the legend Mario Andretti behind the wheel. And we were talking about hair. The boys up in the booth were talking about hair and hair color. You made an observation about DW with that 95 car. What was it?
I thought DW had a very similar haircut as Chase Elliott does these days. I don't know. It seems pretty close. He had a nice little flow going and all that. Yeah. I can't do that, but it looked really good. Maybe I could have when I was first started, but
Maybe back in the Legends car
run away. Yeah. This Cup stuff makes your hair run away from your forehead.
Well, we documented earlier in the show this weekend, due to what happened post-race inspection, Todd Gordon not here. He's on suspension for 2 races. Could you have picked a better race for a bad situation to happen? Miles Stanley stepping in. This race, just because the crew chief isn't as dominant as far as helping the overall picture here?
Yeah, there's never a good place, right? But if you got to pick the least of them all, I guess Talladega would be the best Daytona Talladega. Because, we were talking about practice, you make 2-3 runs and you're good. And then you just load it up and you start to race on Sunday. There's not as much going on. Now, next week is going to be a lot more challenging for practice because you come in and you're trying to communicate, to Miles, which we get along really well, and he's basically, for lack of better words, is Todd's assistant. He's there all the time with us. He understands me and what I need in my car. But there is that extra kind of layer that you're trying to put things together and figure out what's the best change for your car. In the heat of a moment like that during practice, it's going to be very challenging. And then obviously the calls that you make during the race will be a little bit different, getting used to the different lingo on the radio and things like that. So there's a lot of opportunity for mistakes. So we just got to make sure we all pick up the slack.
He certainly has had some great success in the past. 3 plate wins in the last 9 starts, guys.
And Matt, you talk about the penalty that was announced yesterday for the 22 car post-Richmond. An L1 level penalty, unapproved rear suspension parts. The big part of this equation, they keep the victory in the record books, but they don't get an automatic pass into the playoffs, which is certainly worth noting, and they lose those 5 playoff points they would have had. That's something that really could be a big part of this equation, Larry Mack, once we get into the postseason come September.
Yeah, Adam, it was unapproved rear suspension pieces, and I want to show you with our Ford cutaway car where that area is. We're looking right there where the trailing arm hooks to the rear end housing. What you basically got, you've got the trailing arm, and then right in there, you're going to see some blocks, some aluminum blocks. Some of them are metal, some of them are aluminum. But that's all hooked to the rear end housing. And what the rule states is the pad on the rear end, the spacers, the shim, the pad on the trailing arm, all of those pieces, they have to be planed absolutely straight. It can have no curvature. And it was my understanding that there was a little bit of curvature to one of those parts and pieces when they got the car back to the R&D Center. I've been asked a lot this week, how come they didn't find that at the racetrack? This is something basically you couldn't find until you take the car completely apart. They took the winning car, the 22 car of Joe Logano, second place car, his teammate Brad Keselowski, and a random back to the R&D Center, and that's what they found with the 22 car. And when you have all those parts that are perfectly flat, and when you torque them together, nothing can move. If there's any curvature whatsoever, and I'm talking, guys, thousandths of inch, things can still move, and of course, I think we're going right back to getting skew in the body.
And Larry, I think it's good to note also there was a small effect on the Manufacturers Championship. We've been talking about that rivalry really building this year, and so I think there was about a 5-point deduction because of how they now do manufacture points. It actually went to the second place finisher, Brad Keselowski, which was 5 less points than what Joey Logano had.
That the news of the week. Now we refocus of what's happening on track. Rain at Talladega. Clint Boyer fastest through the first 15 minutes of the session.